we got some singles, and we've got Hot Noise singles in Dineha today. So we have the return of the one, the only Win Butler. We have a Lightning 1/2 by Arcade Fire, It's actually produced by Nigel Godrich of Radiohead, Thom Yorke, Johnny Greenwood. This is the acclaimed sixth member of Radiohead, as we like to say. So it's very interesting to see that. Their first single um, since Everything Now era, I think, which was 2017, which is insane to say that because that's when we first started this podcast, and I remember that very well. But anyways, going into it, also sans the other Butler,
Will
rather.
Butler, yeah.
So, Will Butler, yeah. So this is interesting, which I didn't realize that they were both in Arcade Fire. But I mean, there's
Yeah.
like 48 people in Arcade Fire, so who knows? Who knows who? Anyways, going to the actual music of it, I think it's actually pretty decent. With how it is, like Lightning One takes a little while to kind of um get into the whole track. It takes about a minute and a half to kind of build, and then you get to the meat and potatoes of it, and it's a decent track. And then the Lightning 2 I actually really like a lot. I think it just starts upbeat. It's actually a very good song for it. And coming off Arcade Fire have been making music for 20 years or so with this, it's nice to kind of hear a pivot a little bit back to their older-ish sound, but nothing where it's just trying to make a throwback. They're trying to just update everything and not be stuck into one thing, and that happens with bands who have been playing for this long. So I actually enjoyed it, which was surprising. I really wanted to shit on it as much as I could, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm very, very interested to see what their album is going to sound like when it comes out later this year, because especially with Nigel producing it, if he's going to produce the whole record, I'm not sure if he did or not. That's someone who has so much experience in a vast array of things that they can do to help Arcade Fire, because I think they do need that, because we both thought Everything Now was meh.
Yeah, had some like nice tracks on there, but a lot of it was really forgettable. I had
Yes.
the same thinking to you as well. If I don't know if Nigel is producing the entire record, but we'll definitely be stopping here before we listen to the full record because of the singles rule. But
Yep.
I think I mean, it's hard to tell because Arcade Fire were actually like really solid with their production. Again, like sometimes lackluster, but I think solid when they were hitting with their production.
Yeah.
And it also, to be fair, Everything Now was co-produced with Daft Punk, I believe. The title track for sure, at least.
Yeah.
So Arcade Fire, I'm trying to say Arcade Fire alone, I think has a lot of good production talent. I think Nigel Godrich added here only just takes it up a notch. And I'd love to see, even if it's like a full record or even if it's just the two songs, where more of those brains can continue to make really good stuff. And yeah, I really like the second part for really being upbeat. But the first part is also very nice as well. And I do like how they play and loop in together. I can't help but feel like that was a little bit of a Nigel Godrich inspiration there. But
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
yeah, we move on because this is Audioface, so of course we have 517 by Thom Yorke. This is going to be a part of, he's, a film soundtrack era for Thom Yorke and a lot of the Radiohead members actually, making TV show and film soundtracks of different kinds. This is going to be for a new version of Peaky Blinders, and there's another song called That's How Horses Are that I believe is going to come out when the British drama is actually released on the 2nd of April. But 517 was released, and it's a classic Thom Yorke, eerie, kind of melodic kind of thing.
Sounds a bit like, sounds a bit like the stuff from Suspiria soundtrack that he did in 2018. And if you know Peaky Blinders, if you watched it, it kind of fits the theme of it. Like, you can hear 517, and in my mind, I'm like, I can see some slow motion cinematography and stuff in Peaky Blinders with that. And I'm like, yeah, it'll fit that theme and everything. It'll be very interesting to see how it is put into the series. And then, yeah, That's How Horses Are as well. Shit will be released when the series is out, which is the final series, I think, of Peaky Blinders as well. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. And yeah, it's very good. I mean, it's very typical Thom Yorke, so there isn't much to be said, but I like it naturally.
Yeah. And then the last track we have here is Look Alive by Dragon Rapid, kind of like a newer group out of Austin. I happened to like listen to this exact song on like a bike as I was like going through Austin, and I pulled over and was like, oh, this is actually kind of sick. I wonder who this is. And so I ended up having a conversation with a guy, and he's like, oh yeah, this is my band. I'll check this out. And I liked, of all the other songs of here, they have like a EP like thing they're about to release of their like released songs. I liked Look Alive the most for its like mix of liveliness and also just like a really heavy bass line that evokes things that came out in like the late late 90s, early 2000s, and like that level of alternative rock. That was something I was really enjoying with it.
Yeah, same. I think like yeah, the bass was really cool. I like the whole track, and I'm very interested now to look into them more a bit as well, to see what else they have to offer. So yeah, I thought it was good too. I like it.
Yeah. Love including little big ones, some little ones here.
Yeah.
That's Audioface for you. Adblock, really just check out our 2022 AF playlist. We're adding all of our favorite songs. And you can follow along with our favorite songs of 2022 with that. And thank you, Peter, for mastering this episode and making us sound nice.